Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of the Screen, Peter Joseph here, for a good Friday evening, April the 3rd, 2026. Thank you all for watching, right here, on the Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below, and subscribe to my other channels as well. All the links are down in the gobbledygook, otherwise known as the description box, otherwise known as my pants. So, do it now, because I said so. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because you miss anything, well, you pretty much suck. And you're SOL. You better know what that means, because I'm not going to tell you again. So, that's that. So, if you missed anything, you're pretty much SOL. And I think we all know what that means by now. And if not, look it up. And that's that. So, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all that other good stuff. And if you leave stupid comments, you get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely, and then Ozzy and Satan will eat your soul. So don't do it. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back. Relax, you grabbed a nice tasty cold one. Put your stinky, smelly feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, then get out of here and go watch somebody else. And then pretty much go fuck yourself. And, that's all I gotta say about that. We move on with that. You don't like it? Tough shit. Get out of here. Moving on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. It's Good Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Something for that good weekend. Alright. But it is Easter weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We got Easter on Sunday. We got Holy Saturday tomorrow. So, Holy Week is in effect. Happy Passover to all my Jewish people out there that watch my show. And if you are Jewish, happy Passover. And, happy Easter to everybody else. And I hope you have a great weekend. Nice and warm today in the Northeast. It's going to be warm tomorrow. And warm on Easter Day. A little bit of rain we have to dodge. But it's okay. Shouldn't be a total washout for if you're in the Northeast. So, but wherever you may be, hope you have a great Saturday. And a great Easter Sunday. And then back to work on Monday. Yeah. And for some of you kids, you might have off already. And if not, you might get off this week. Well, next week. I don't know when, but it is what it is. So, that's all that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. On your Good Friday evening, April the 3rd, 2026. Thank you all for watching. Once again, my name is Peter Joseph. And I am a content creator talking about the wonderful world of professional wrestling or anything else I want to talk about. If you like it, great. You know, there's the door. Don't let it hit your fat ass on the way out. But some of you people are stupid, so it probably will hit you a bunch of times. Because you're stupid. But it is what it is. If you don't like it, there's the door. And move on. With that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on your Friday night, as we're getting ready for a big, interesting episode of SmackDown tonight. See what happens with Randy Orton and this voice. He's in his hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. Will we find out who he's talking to on the phone? We'll see. He did have that cryptic video. If you follow him on Facebook, no, not Facebook. If you follow him on X, there's a little video of him with his dad and Grandpa Orton. So, could we see Cowboy Bob Orton Jr.? Possibly. Could we see somebody else? I don't know. But we got him in the house. Cody, most likely be in the house. Mommy Rhea Ripley is taking on, I believe, Mia Yim tonight. Boring as fuck match that will be. But we'll see what happens with that. On your it's your 2-hour cure for insomnia. And that's WWE SmackDown. That's coming up tonight. The Yankees were playing earlier today in the home opener. I don't know if they won. Nobody cares. The Mets playing tonight on Channel 11 on the CW11 at 10 o'clock. So the third hour of SmackDown, you can go back and forth unless you have picture-in-picture like I do, and you can watch the Met game and SmackDown at the same time. So hopefully the Mets win today. They're on a 3-game losing streak. And yeah, they're in last place, which is not fun, but it's early. It's only game number 7. So we'll see what happens with that in game number 8 of 162. Hopefully they get back on the winning track. Nolan McLean on the mound tonight. So see if he has a little bit better performance than last time out. But right now the Mets are not doing so good. But it's early. So it's early. But if they don't get it together, it might be a long season. So we'll see what happens with that. And if you're in the Brooklyn, New York area, the Cyclones started tonight at home against Hudson Valley. So you're in the Coney Island area, go see them. It's a good time. Tell them I sent you. And I'm not that. But right now, everything I'm going to say right now is going to be said right now. But what happened to then, Peter? Oh, you missed it, dude. But when will it be now? Soon. Just wait. Soon. Okay? But anyway, right now, it is time for your late, really late, so far out of date NXT review. For this past Tuesday, March the 31st. So going back to March a little bit. So NXT from March the 31st, 2026. And we are from the theater, the lovely theater, at Madison Square Garden in the greatest place in the world, New York City. Well, not that great, but, you know, the greatest city in the world, but run by a fucking communist fucking mayor who should be burned at the stake. That's what I think. But I digress. But New York's not totally a bad place to live. You know, it's very expensive to live here. But, you know, pretty soon beginning rid of the mayor. Hopefully get fired before he gets to do another term. You know, in like another 3.5 years. And hopefully that dumb bitch governor gets out of here too. That's later this year. Then next year we got the president, don't forget. But hopefully J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio will take over for Trump. But we'll see what happens with that. We got a long way to go before that. We move on with that. Alright, let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. So, as always, on Tuesday nights, our commentary team, the man with the creepy jacket, lots of candy for those kiddies out there. And that's Vic Joseph and the simp himself, the two-time Hall of Famer, the man who smokes more fucking weed than you do. Oh, he does. He smokes a bowl before every episode and every pay-per-view. The Kool-Aid Man himself, Black Snow, otherwise known as Booker T, sucker! Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Okay, calm down. Alright, so we got that. Alright, so it's Roadblock, ladies and gentlemen. The go-home show before tomorrow night's Stunned and Deliver pay-per-view. So, kind of finalized the card a little bit. Got a couple of extra matches were made. And, well, some chicanery at the end of the program. We'll get to that in a minute. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we start off our first match with a 6-man tag team match player. We got Deuces and Jokers, or Dark State, of Saquon Sugar's Dion Lennox and the big man himself, Osiris Griffin. They take on OTN, the Boricua Gangsters, that's Bronco Nima and Lucius Price, and their tag team partner, the TNA Heavyweight Champion of the World. He retained at Sacrifice, and he will do it again next Saturday against Eddie Edwards, and that man is from the BX himself, Mike Santana. You gotta love it. The hometown boy back in New York City. Alright, so this match wasn't that bad. Started off with Saquon Sugars knocking Mike Santana off the apron to start. You bitch. Then Bronco Nima gets caught in the wrong corner, but that's fine with him because he powers out and throws Dion Lennox. He throws Dion Lennox into the corner for a tag to his partner, Lucius Price. And then they beat him up in their corner. Then Mike Santana comes in. Fans are like, yeah, Mike! Not you, Mike. The other Mike. Santana Mike. I know. I know who he is. Okay, just wanted to know. I just wanted to know, because sometimes, I say Mike and you come in anyway. Yeah, I'm trying to cut that down. You have a good show. I gotta go. We're having a party in the bar. Jerome is, I know. Okay. You have fun. Be safe. Watch out for those, those fat chicks. Well, I like them. Okay, but be safe and wrap up that burrito. What do you mean? I'm up in heaven. I don't need to do that. Just be safe anyway, Mike. All right. Bye! Okay. Mike awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Man who should be in the Hall of Fame. Just saying. Because he's awesome. Okay. Anyway. So Santana comes in. Right hands to Saquon Sugars. Puts him in trouble. When Osiris Griffin comes in on a tag. Takes over on Lucius Price. Because Santana tagged out. That doesn't last that long. Bronco Nima comes in. Hits a running crotch attack in the ropes to both Dion and Saquon Sugars. DDT gets Dion out of trouble. And we go back and forth. We go to break, come right back. Bronco Nima is still down, but comes back with a suplex on Saquon Sugars. Gets the hot tag to Lucius Price. Picks up the pace, and he cleans house. But the numbers game catches up with him. But eventually gets the hot tag to Mike Santana. He comes in and hits an Eddie Galero! Frog splash, ese pelo. Did you like that one, Eddie? I thought it was pretty good, actually. But not as good as mine. Okay. Okay, Eddie, thank you. Oh, by the way, Eddie, did you see what happened to your son? Those fucking marks bothering him for an autograph? Those fucking fans, they are so lucky I'm not alive. Because if I was there, I'd beat the shit out of them. But nobody touches my son. I don't care how many people they want their autograph. And nobody touches my son. Would you do the same thing if those marks were trying to get your autograph? Yes, because I got to go to the bathroom and I got to go to I got to go to the hotel and, I got to go everywhere. And I might have a little thing with this China and everything. I get it. So, don't touch Eddie either. He'll kick your ass. Pendejo. Don't touch Dom! Leave him alone! These fucking marks, I don't understand. I did a rant yesterday about it when they were hounding Stephanie Vercour, who didn't want to, she had a bad day. She didn't want to stop and take pictures with the fans, and she's entitled to that. And all these fans they're crying and bitching and crying, and they're filming her, freaking harassing her, calling her names and shit. And these fucking fans should be fucking arrested. Did the same thing to Dom, and they did the same thing to Oba. Who? Femi. Outside the fucking hotel. That's why, when they come to New York, or they come to anywhere in the country or in Canada, they gotta have some type of security there. Because it's insane hearing all these stories with Dom, with Mommy Rhea Ripley, and I think it was in Germany, with Stephanie Vercour, with Oba, and now Dom. I mean, what is wrong with you fucking marks? If they don't want to sign an autograph or take 5 seconds to do a picture because they got somewhere to be, then then that's their prerogative. Some wrestlers would go out of their way for fans, I get it. Alright? But stop fucking harassing them just so you can get an autograph, so you can put it up on Twitter. Oh, put up on eBay for like $5. Because you know how you put up on eBay, you're gonna charge like $200 for a thing you can get at a fucking meet and greet for $20. Retarded. Fucking IWC is a bunch of fucktards. Fucking criminals. Fucking dumb fucks that think they know everything about wrestling and they don't. I want to debate you, Peter, about wrestling. You don't have the balls to do it. Because you will get annihilated, and I don't want to waste my time. Same thing with music. I'll annihilate you. Why do I have to waste my time? Or on drama streams where I know I'm going to get ganged up on without lube. Why am I going to waste my time? No. I refuse to do it. If you're not going to act like a man and not a fucking baby and not a bitch and do things one-on-one, then I have no time for you. So if you want to bitch and complain, call me a coward, call me a pussy, well, I'm a sexy coward, and I get more pussy than you combined. Remember that. So, stay obsessed and stay mad. Bitches. That's that. Alright, moving on. Alright, so Mike Santana comes in with a fruit roll about Saquon Sugars for a near fall. Then he has spin the block, which sets up in the mud by OTM, and they get the win. 1, 2, 3 in over 10 minutes. What are you gonna do? There you go. Good match, 3 out of 5 stars. Mike Santana and OTM get the win over Deuces and Jokers. And that's pretty much it. Alright, then we go to a video from Miles, they'll call him Ozzy Osbourne, the men's North American champion. Talks about how far he came in the last year. Thanks, ego, Ethan Page, for giving him the edge that made him champion. Not that edge, but not threshold. But so he's all ready to defend the North American title at Stand and Deliver. We know that he's going to be facing Johnny Gargano for the title, and he wants Johnny Wrestling to show up. And on cue, Johnny Wrestling comes in, says Johnny Takeover is still somewhere inside of him. And if that comes out, oh boy, he's going to eat Miles Bourne alive. It's nothing personal, but that title is very personal to him. He's held it 3 times. And for the first time in 2 months, he's not going to lie down and die, because he will stand and deliver. And I think he will. I think we're going to see the first ever 4-time North American champion. So he's going to pretty much, he's tied, I believe he's tied Adam Cole, because he held the title, I believe, 3 times. And now he's going to eclipse that. So, Adam! You better watch. And that's that. So I think Gargano is going to win the title tomorrow night. Maybe go on a nice little run with the belt. I don't know who beats him at this point. Maybe Ethan, maybe Ricky Starks. I don't know. We'll see. We got that. But good promo. 3 out of 5 stars for that. Alright. Then we go to the ladies. We got my girl, Maddie Rankowski. She's giving her bestie, Kendall Gray, a pep talk, as it will be Kendall Gray taking on Lola Isis for a #1 contenders match to see who faces JC Jane for her NXT Women's Championship at Stand and Deliver. And that's that. Okay, we move on. Alright, then we got the finals of the Tag Team #1 Contenders Tournament. We got Birthright of Uriah Connors and who's his partner? And shoot. It was okay. So it was Sean Spears and Uriah Connors, I believe. And then taking on Los Americanos, Leo and Bravo. That's Pete fucking Dunne and Tyler Bate. Alright, so rest of Birthright at ringside. Lexus King, who still is in concussion protocol. And Stacks Mahomes and his hot as fuck wife. And that's the TNA Knockouts champion for now. Ariana Grace. Because Ariana Grace will defend the belt again against Xia Li. And, if freaking Ariana Grace wins, I'm telling you now, Ariana, you better have eyes in the back of your head, because a certain demon assassin, is back, and maybe a bunny, too. Oh, your title ain't about to go bye-bye! That belt's coming back to the prophecy, bitch. Just saying. We have that. Oh, it's great to see James Mitchell last night on TNA when they kind of abducted Tessa Blanchard. You know, she followed Allie the Bunny into this dark red area, and that became a house. And she said, "What is this place?" And then you see James Mitchell there, and he goes, "Welcome to the undead realm." I was marking the fuck out. I was like, yes! The prophecy is just about intact, and we are back, baby. I love it. Now, do we get Su Yung? That's the question. I think we did see Susie, or what looked like Susie, maybe a couple weeks ago. But, I mean, I think, they're going to get out of that undead realm, and they're going to bring everybody else in. Mila Moore, sadly, Alicia Fox was next, and now Tessa Blanchard. I think Mara Sade was there, too. Oh, boy. All the pretty knockouts. Bye-bye. You go down to hell, basically. You're going to the undead realm, and you're not coming back. So I think the next person on that list is Ariana Grace. Bye, bitch. And, that's that. Welcome to Wonderland, Alice! There we get that. Alright, so we get to this match. Under 11 minutes, back and forth they went. We get near the end. We go to break, come back. Raya Connors and Rayo slug it out until Rayo with an X-Plex. Somebody's been watching Bandito tapes. The X-Plex. Bravo comes back in, beats up both members of Birthmark, putting a spinning torture rack bomb to Stacks. I don't know why. It was Stacks. Stacks was in the match, actually. I thought it was Sean Spears, but he was at ringside, I think. Anyway, Ariana Grace also a distraction, and they were doing some dancey, some salsa, and then I think it was Bravo, Rayo, I think it was Rayo who was dancing some salsa, grabbing her from behind, and probably was about to insert her dirt, but, so that was kind of funny. So Ariana Grace offers a distraction. Lexis King gets in a cane shot to give Stacks a near fall. And then my boy Shiloh Hill comes out, gets rid of the rest of Birthright. And then he super Kanrana into an Eddie Guerrero frog splash. Like that one? It was inventive. I liked it. It was okay. Something I would have done, but better. Okay, we get it. So it gets a near fall on Stacks. Alright, Connors makes a save. And then the fake El Grande Americano, Ludwig Spears, he comes out to distract the referee. So we get the loading of the mask, the metal in the masks, and Rio takes out Ryan Connor. So he takes out Stacks, and then Bravo flying headbutt into Ryan Connors. 1, 2, 3. The Americanos get the win, and they will face the Vanity Project, the NXT Tag Team Champions, that's Britt Baylor and Smokes, tomorrow night at Stand and Deliver for the NXT Tag Team titles, and I think we're going to get new Tag Team Champions. So, no fun for Benjamin Button's group. Jackson Craig lost the Evolve title. Now, Baylor and Smokes about to lose the Tag Team titles. That quick. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, match wise 3 out of 5 stars, and that's it. Alright, then we're in the back. Dark State is pissed about the loss. What happened to Cutler James? Did he get hurt? I think he did get hurt by my cousin Tony D, because we haven't seen him in a while. But anyway, they're mad about their loss. Dion is going to get them back on track at Stand and Deliver. How? Don't know. We'll see what happens with that. And as Al Bundy would say, don't know, care. Here we get that. Alright, back to the ladies, and this match was pretty damn good. We have Miss Parker, with new music. Why did she get Death Rebel? Fuck! Anyway, so Miss Parker takes on Mrs. Him, Kehlani Jordan. This match was great. Back and forth they went. About a little over 9.5 minutes. Getting to the end, and Ms. Parker shoves Kehlani to the floor, brings her back in for some shoulder blocks, and then Kehlani with a pump kick right into Jada's banged up shoulder after they went into the ring steps. Ow! Then a crucifix bomb gives Kehlani a near fall. Jada catches her on top, and a sick release German superplex. That was nasty. I don't know, really kind of like a weird landing, but still. She hits that, and then she sets up the hypnotique, hits that sexy hip attack into Deja Vu, her finisher. 1, 2, 3. Jada Parker gets the win over Kehlani Jordan. Pretty good match. 3 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much it. And we move on with that. Alright, then we're in the back. Where are we? Okay. We're in the back with the Vanity Project, Drake, Jackson Drake, Brett Baylor, and Smokes. They're there. They see the lovely Blake Monroe. Oh, my. And they offer to escort her to her locker room. Yeah, escort my ass. But she's all ready for her close-up and her face-to-face with the creepy girl, Tatum Paxley. So, no play for the Vanity Project. You get nothing. That's my chick. Hi, Blake. Anyway, moving on. I escort Blake to her locker room and never come out. Alright, that's that. Alright, we move on. Alright, Robbie E. is hosting a 4-way contract signing for the NXT title featuring my cousin Tony D, Ricky Starks, absolute Ricky Starks, by the way, Old Eagle Ethan Page, and the champ. His name is Joe Hendry, below average Joe Hendry. So Ethan and Ricky insist that they go first, but Joe Hendry takes the contract, signs it, and he says, I can't wait to see which one of you stabs each other in the back first, because they both want the title so bad. And they're passionate about the title, but passionate about NXT, being in New York City. And, I think Ethan's like, I'm ready to leave the world it's Joe, says, I'm ready to leave the world believing, right? But then Ricky Starks says, Joe, you forgot about our friendship between me and Ethan, and I'm going to set the world right, becoming a two-time champion. So he signs. Ethan talks about selling himself short by focusing on becoming the greatest Canadian North American champion in history. And so I'm going to go get the world title. So he signs, and then Tony D finally speaks, and he says, "Enough!" Talks about how he's done these type of sit downs before. He says, "Ricky and Ethan, you both gotten a chance. You failed. And as for you, Joe, we have no problems. But I'm coming to finish phase 2 and become the champion. And I'm the only one who isn't an outsider." And then he signs the contract, promises to run over them like a freight train. Rode it like a freight train! You know, Guns N' Roses. So everybody has signed, the match is official. Tony D tells Robbie E to get out of the fucking ring. Big old brawl starts, and Ricky and Joe Hendry are put through the tables, and then the other two are get beat up by they start a brawl. Security has to break that up. Some of the security guards I actually know, but we get that. So wild and crazy, you know how contract signings are. So I gave that 3.25 out of 5 stars. And we move on. Alright, then it's time for big beefy men slapping meat. Kiana Cara takes on the Pasta. Jasper Troy. Josh Briggs as a special guest referee. This was a wild match. Didn't last that long. Under 2.5 minutes. Kiana Keanu Carver is yelling at Booker T. Why not? Pastor Jasper Troy hits a chokeslam through the announcer's table, which isn't a DQ. So, takes Keanu Carver back inside for a swinging Abyss Black Hole Slam for a very near fall, and Jasper is pissed off at Briggs. He shoves him, and he hits a big old boot, so you know there's going to be some bullshit with the referee. Keanu comes back in with the pounce, period, into a running power slam, which is better than that spinning slam he has in Evolve, which wasn't even a good finisher. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, he gets the win, and Booker T was not happy about it, obviously, because he hates Keanu Carver. So we got that, 2.5 minutes packed into, like, bleh, it was like a smorgasbord of garbage. So I didn't give it a great rating, 2.25 out of 5 stars. After match, Booker is pissed, and then Keanu Carver insists that Briggs raise his hand. Briggs does it, but he drops him with a big-time clothesline, and that's going to lead to a hoss fight, basically, a triple threat match between Keanu Carver, Briggs, and Pastor Troy, which they should have done on this show, but you know how NXT is uncreative about being creative, absolutely. So we see Keanu Carver going over to Robbie E in the back. It's like, I want Jasper and I want Briggs and I want him in a triple threat. Robbie's like, okay, you got it. So we get that. Alright, then we go to Shawn Legacy and the banged up men's speed champion, Pepe Le Pew, Elio de Flair. They're banged up as, we see Hank and Spank or Wank and Crank. They want to get rid of Birthright. And Elio has some bad news. He has torn tendons in his shoulder. He's going to be out for 6 months. Damn. So he has to vacate the speed title. So you know what that means. Another speed tournament to crown a new champion. That sucks. But we're going to get a new champion. But that's cool with Eli Knight, who's the homie of LA Knight. So Manny Mankowski, my girl, comes in, offers some condolences. Yeah, condolences, my ass. When then Shiloh comes in, he starts laughing, but he has an idea. And later on, we get an 8-person tag team match, or 8 or 10-person tag team match on the pre-show, basically. So we're getting back to pre-show matches on pay-per-views, which is nice. But a 10-person tag between everybody was in that segment except for Eli LaFleur and then Birthmark, basically. Boring! And that's that. Alright, moving on. Alright, then we get to Tatum Paxley and Blake Monroe face to face. Tatum says, I loved getting to pull you down to hell by your hair last week in Houston, but I'm also giving you an ultimatum. Give me back my belt. So Blake comes out looking amazing with the belt. Says, I never lost the belt in the first place. She didn't, because there was a technicality by the stupid fucking referee who gave it a Thea Hale. It is what it is. But now, I just can't give it to you. It's mine now. But Tatum is willing to give Blake her biggest spotlight. So she says, we can have our match at Stand and Deliver, and, I'll give you your spotlight. Blake's like, I'm in. But, and then she's like, but I'm not giving the title back yet, because you're nothing like me. And then Tatum's like pissed off. And then she goes after Blake. They have a big old cat fight. But in the end, Blake takes back the North American title. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. I hope Blake wins the title back. I hope she does, but we'll see. And that's that. Moving along. Alright, we're in the back with Sarah Schreiber. Robbie E makes the 10-person tag, like I said, for the kickoff show. And then Keanu Carver comes in. He wants a triple threat match next week on NXT with Jasper Troy and Josh Briggs. He gets that. And then we hear some commotion, like somebody's like, ah! Like screaming, like somebody's getting murdered. And then Robbie E runs around the corner. We see Kaylani Jordan laid out Jada Parker. So she got a little spoil sport. You beat me, bitch! Laid her out. So probably going to see some type of hardcore match between those ladies, most likely. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, so I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we get a video on the rise and fall of Del Ruca. They were friends, so Ruca became a success. People started putting doubts in Delta's head, but Soul kept trying to help her out, you know, giving her the North American title shot and everything else, tag titles, stuff like that. Delta finally turned on her about a week or so ago after one more loss, blamed Soul for everything, and then we didn't really see them fighting outside of Madison Square Garden. I don't know why I didn't show that. But now it's time for the big old fight, and that's going to happen at Stand and Deliver. I hope Delta wins and beats the crap out of Sol Ruca, but that's just me. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, after that, we get Fatal Influence. Got Fallon, Don't Call Her to the Dawn, Henley, Laney Reed, and JC Jane. They're waiting to see who will be challenging JC for her belt. Though Izzy Dame, Brookie Hogan 2.0, she seems pretty interested. Wonder what that's about. You know, with Izzy, you know, you got chaos falling behind her. She wants in, so we'll see. That's what that. Alright, then we get the Stand and Deliver rundown. And that leads to the main event, ladies and gentlemen. Lola Vice taking on Kendall Gray for the #1 contendership. Maddie Winkowski's out there with Kendall. Great match. Back and forth they went. We're gonna get near the end. They go to the outside. Fatal Influence with a distraction because they came out. Lola misses a running hip attack and hit the ring steps. Ow! Oh man, if I was only Poppy Priest, I would massage those hips. Anyway, and then back in the ring, Kendall gets kicked out of mid-air for a near fall. But gets a spinning elbow, that wicked spinning elbow for a very near fall. And then Lola, with some kicks, gets reversed into a ankle lock, which gets reversed into a fruit roll-up for a near fall. And then Kendall leg dives her, which gets pulled into a guillotine choke, which gets reversed into a Northern Lights suplex. 1, 2, 3, but there's another referee outside. I guess because I think the referee went down to the match. I don't remember, but anyway, that referee says, no. Kendall's not the winner. Lola's the winner because there was a tap out. And if you saw the replay on a different angle, the original referee's like 1, 2, and then you see Kendall tap out, basically. So there was a double pin. So technically Kendall won, but Lola won. So we don't know what's going on. And then the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, he comes out, talks to the referees, and we're like, what the hell is going to happen now? Who's JC going to face? And I'm like, triple threat match. This screen triple threat match from the beginning. And you know, I should be writing the show because I'm right. Because on Wednesday, Robbie E, on the WWE NXT YouTube page, and WWE page as well, he came out and announced there's going to be a triple threat match. So it's JC Jane defending her title against Kendall Gray and Lola Vice. And we'll see what happens with that. I want Lola to win, but I'm thinking Kendall's going to win. So I'm going to go with Kendall Gray to win the title. As much as I want Lola to win. I mean, we'll see what happens with that. But if JC retains, people are going to be pissed. And we'll see what happens with that. And that's it. So a wild and crazy, night of action at NXT Roadblock from the theater at the Garden. And I gave it 7.25 out of 10 stars. And that's all I can say about that. So let me know what you guys thought of the show down below in the comments section. And like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright guys, we're getting ready for SmackDown. We're 10 minutes away on the USA Network. So I'm going to watch that. And then after we have our successful dinner and other things, we are going to go to, after SmackDown, we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite from this past Wednesday. It was a good show. NXT, the ratings went up a little bit, not too much, but they went up a little bit, went up 9,000. Under 600,000 though, but still. But I don't know what AEW's rating is yet. But they might have went up, they might have went down. We'll see what happens with that. But enjoy SmackDown tonight. Should be good. We'll talk about SmackDown tomorrow, as well as TNA and Ring of Honor. And then we'll do predictions for Stand and Deliver. So 3 videos tomorrow, and then Sunday we'll talk about Collision, and we'll do the full review for Stand and Deliver on Easter Sunday. But that'll be very early on Sunday, because I do, it's Sunday, Easter, and I'm going to be out with the missus, for, to celebrate Easter with the family and everything. So Sunday night, we'll most likely talk about, Stand and Deliver, and that's that. And then we'll do an Easter vlog, probably early Monday. And that'll be it. And that's it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Once again, 7.25 out of 10 stars for... Yeah, 7.25 out of 10 stars for NXT. And we'll see what happens tomorrow night on Stand and Deliver. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace, motherfuckers.